Hello everyone and welcome. In this video, I will be guiding you through a quick everyday vinyasa flow. We'll start in child's pose. Toes come to touch, separate the knees apart, hips to heels, melting chest and forehead to the mat. Fingertips walking towards the top. Settle into stillness and bring awareness to your breath. Finding Samavriti, equal lengths of breath here. Take a deep inhale for 1, 2, 3, exhale 3, 2, 1, inhale 1, 2, 3, exhale 3, 2, 1. Start to walk your hands over to the right side of your mat. Maybe palms stack, taking a side bend, side body stretch. Keep with those deep inhales and exhales. Walk your hands back through center and over to the other side, just switching. Side body stretch. Walk those hands back through center. Rise high up on the pads of the fingertips, lifting up forearms and elbows, making this active. And coming up to tabletop, hands and knees. For thread the needle, reach up and lengthen the left arm. And then wrap it underneath you, finding that twist in the spine. Hips stay over knees. That right hand can stay by your face. It can walk up towards the top of your mat or walk over to the left top corner of your mat, deepening the twist. Press yourself back up through center, tabletop. And switching sides, reach and lengthen up the right arm. And wrap it, thread it underneath you, thread the needle. Same options go here with that left hand, left arm on this side. Press the right forearm into the mat, deepen the twist. Stay connected with the tops of the feet and shins into the mat. Pressing back up through tabletop, hands and knees position. And start to move through rounds of cats and cows, linking movement with your breath. Inhale, belly drops, open up. Exhale, press hands into the mat, round through the spine. Inhale, belly drops, open up through the chest. Cow pose. Exhale, round through the spine, scoop up the low belly, cat pose. Keep going just like that. Move at the pace of your own breath. Once you've done a few rounds of those cats and cows, maybe you take some wrist stretches. You could rotate fingertips back to face your knees, maybe slightly rocking forward and back, side to side. Rotate those fingertips all around to face all directions. Maybe flip one palm upside down, then the other. Just getting into those wrists here. Preparing for downward facing dog, tuck under the toes. Dip those hips towards heels, equally pressing off of hands and feet. Hips high, down dog. You can start to pedal out your feet here, walk your dog. Bending one knee, melting the opposite heel to the mat. And switching. Fingertips are spread wide. Find stillness here in your down dog. Come back to your breath. Equal lengths of breath in and out, gaining that control, regulation of the breath. Making our way to the top of the mat. Maybe you tiptoe, step, or hop your way there. Feet meet hands. Inhale, halfway lift to lengthen. Exhale, refold. And hanging out in a forward fold here for a few moments, few rounds of breath. Maybe you take a little or big bend in the knees. Chest could rest on thighs. Ragdoll arms is an option. Notice if stillness or movement would feel more natural or better for you here. Finding that stillness, swaying side to side, shaking the head yes or no. Releasing hands back down to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins. Exhale, refold. And rise to stand. Reach up, rise up. Tadasana, mountain pose. Moving through 3 half sun A's. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, refold over the legs. Root to rise. Inhale, reach up, rise up. Exhale, right into your forward fold, second half sun. Inhale, halfway lift, soften shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, refold. And rise to stand. Ride your inhale to the top. And exhale, float it back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, reach up. Meeting in Tadasana, mountain pose, standing at the top of the mat. Hands can be to heart center or long by your sides, palms forward. Take a breath. Now moving through 3 full Sun A Salutations. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, move with your breath. Palm the mat, plank pose, top of a push-up. Exhale, lower down all the way to the belly. This first one will find Sphinx pose. For our back bend, come onto forearms, open up through the chest. Exhale, forehead to the mat. Slide those hands back underneath your shoulders. Tuck the toes, engage through the thighs. Press back up through plank pose and hips high, down dog. Take a breath. And start to make your way to the top of the mat. However you want to get there, tiptoe, step, or hop. Inhale, halfway lift when you get there. Exhale to fold. And inhale, reach up, rise up. Tadasana, pause when you get there. And breathe. Second Sun A, inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palm the mat, plank pose. Hug elbows in as you lower all the way to the belly. For Cobra, keep hands right where they are under the shoulders. Inhale to lift up here using the strength of your spinal muscles along the spine. Forehead back down. Plank pose, really engage through the low belly, press up and hips high, down dog. Curl the tailbone up to the ceiling, soften shoulders away from your ears. Take a breath. And start to make your way to the top of the mat. Feet meet hands, however you'd like to get there. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, refold over those legs. And inhale, ride your inhale all the way to the top. Meeting in Tadasana, mountain pose. Take a breath. Last Sun A Salutation. Reach up on your inhale. On your exhale, fold it forward. On your inhale, halfway lift to lengthen. Exhale, palm the mat, plank pose. Hug those elbows in, lower just halfway down, chaturanga push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog, hips high. Start to make your way to the top of the mat once again, however you'd like to get there. Once you're there, inhale, halfway lift. On your exhale, refold. And root to rise, reach up. Tadasana. Next, inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift to lengthen the spine. Palm the mat, step or hop back to plank pose, top of a push-up. Hug those elbows in, nice and controlled. Lower all the way to the belly for a symmetrical back bend here, Shalabhasana. Arms will be long by your sides, palms facing the mat. On an inhale, lift up everything you can, head, chest, arms, legs, feet. Think toes, crown of head reaching long in both directions. Flip palms out to the sides of the room. One more big breath. And exhale, lower down. Come to rest on the right ear. Shoulders heavy into the mat. You can repeat a Shalabhasana for another back bend or bow pose, taking a bend in your knees, reaching back for the inside or outside of the ankles. And on a big inhale, if you're in bow pose, kick those feet into the hands to lift up here, really broadening through the chest, getting that stretch into the shoulders, finding that back bend. One more big breath. And lower down from wherever you are. This time take a rest on your left ear. Arms long by your sides. Making our way to a seated position. So to come out of this, hands on both sides of the chest, you can press up through tabletop, crossing at the ankles, and sitting your way back. String of pearls, a little bit of core work to get us reclined. Lower down one vertebrae at a time, nice and slow, engaging through the low belly to get there. Setting up for shoulder stand as our inversion. So lifting those hips up off the mat, hands come to the low back for support. Think elbows working towards one another. Shoulders, hips, ankles, working towards being in one straight line all the way up to the ceiling. Lifting up those hips higher than our heart and head, reversing the blood flow. And beginning to lower the hips, lower the legs, back down to the mat, rolling out of this big full body stretch. Reach arms overhead, lengthen out those legs long. And then hug knees into chest, give yourself a big squeeze, and let those knees fall over to the left, gaze to the right. Maybe you extend that right arm out of your shoulder. Knees back up through center, just switching sides for a twist in the spine, gazing in the opposite direction of your knees. Bring those legs back up through center and lengthening out, preparing for our Shavasana. Take up space on the mat, melting into the mat, letting gravity do all of the work here. And just be. Shavasana. Start to bring awareness back to your breath. And let that breath invite small movements back into the body, wiggling fingers and toes, rolling wrists and ankles. If a full body stretch would feel nice, reaching arms overhead, pointing toes, and starting to hug knees into chest. Give yourself a big squeeze, maybe curling up into a ball, forehead to knees, and however makes the most sense for you, making your way to a comfortable seat facing the front, meeting with hands to heart center. It was an honor to guide your practice. Thank you for joining me. Bring thumb knuckles to our third eye and bow together in gratitude for time on our mats and for each other. Namaste.